Hey, welcome to another episode of Huddle Up with Mark the Fun Coach. I'm Mark Duncan. Today, I want to talk about something called visit anxiety. I like to call it visit anxiety. And that is when nonprofit leaders who know they need to get out and start the process of building relationships with potential donors or donors who they want to become big donors are hesitant to do it. And the hesitancy could be driven by a whole host of things, including just fear, worry, wanting to be perfect. And this whole idea of perfection, as I've said in previous videos, is really a enemy to success, right? It stands in the way when we're trying to be perfect. And so get that out of your minds right now. The idea of this visit anxiety can be mitigated very easily. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about in this video. So let's talk about what you need to be doing first to find those donors that you want to spend time with. Now, there's criteria that I like to use, and I've used it in other videos, and that is called link, interest, and ability. So you should only be spending time with people who have link, interest, and ability. Link to your mission. That link could be a person that they know that knows the organization. It could be a board member. That link could also be the fact that they were a prior user of your services. They're a parent. They're a grandparent. They're an alum. They're somebody that is connected in some way to your organization, or they know somebody who is connected to your organization. And a great one would be a board member. That's link. Interest. They have some interest in your mission, some interest in the work that you do for the people that you serve. Your job will be to develop that interest, increase that interest, grow that interest in a way that will get them excited about giving. And then finally, their ability or capacity to give at a major gift level. Now, what's a major gift level? That's up to you. That's up to you as an organization to decide. Is it $1,000 a year or more? Is it $2,500 a year or more? Is it $5,000 a year or more? So whatever that bottom number is or more, that is what you consider a major gift. And that is who you should be spending time with, only with people who have the capacity to give at that level. Now, that doesn't mean you ignore your other donors, your smaller donors. There's other ways to engage them through email, social media, and so forth, direct mail. But in this relationship fundraising space, you want to be spending time with people who can make significant gifts to your organization. So now once you've identified those people, now you know who to meet with. Now, you may need some help finding or getting in front of those people. Not finding those people because you've already done that. But you now need help getting in front of them. So how do you do that? How do you call somebody that you really don't know well? Well, if the link is somebody that knows that person, utilize that link as a door opener. So if you have a board member and they happen to know 2 or 3 people that you know have capacity to give, they have some interest in your mission, and the link is the board member, then have that board member introduce you to that person. That could be done a couple of ways. It could be done via email. It could be done through Tag Team Coffee. An email introduction, very simple. They should probably give that donor a heads up that they're going to be introducing you via email, and then you take it from there. The second way would be a Tag Team Coffee, and that would be for them to just invite you to join them for coffee. That means your board member, the prospect, and you get together for coffee, and you take it from there. These are what I call a warm handoff. Okay. Very, very easy to do, leveraging the relationships that you already have. It gives you credibility right off the bat because you got that warm handoff. Okay. So now that you get this warm handoff, now you can begin the process of building that relationship. Now, if you are new, just sidebar here, if you are new to your organization as a leader, meaning that you've been at your organization for 18 months or less, then you actually are in a good position to pick up the phone and actually call these people almost as if you're making a cold call, but you're calling them to introduce yourself to them. Hi, my name is Mark Duncan. I'm the new executive director of ABC Nonprofit. I know we haven't had a chance to meet yet. I would love to get together and have coffee with you. Now, these are people that are somewhat connected to your organization already. There's some link. Obviously, the link could be that they're just a donor, right? That could be the case, but you still, just because somebody's a donor in a transactional way doesn't mean that you know them. But if you're new, you can pick up the phone, reach out to them, and they're going to recognize the organization because they've already been giving. And the fact that you're new, they're going to appreciate the fact that you reached out. They're going to feel like, this is something new. It's a new energy about the organization. This may be a new way forward, and they're going to be open to that. But if you've been around for 10 years, or if you've been around for longer than 18 months and you haven't done that, then it's probably going to be a little awkward reaching out to somebody after you've been at the organization for 5 years just to introduce yourself, because they're going to feel like it's something you should have done a while ago. So that's where your door openers will come in to help pave the way for you to get in front of them. Now, once you've gotten in the door, now it's about setting up that first visit. Once you nail down the time, date, and location, now you're ready to go. Now you've got that first visit scheduled. So now what do? This is where the anxiety really kicks in for a lot of people, because now that they have the meeting scheduled, they're concerned about what is going to transpire on that meeting. So now we're creating things like scripts and presentations and making sure that we are being perfect. And perfection, again, the enemy of progress, is going to get in your way. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be human. You're engaging with another human, and just because that human being has capacity doesn't really make them any different than you. They wake up every day just like you. They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like you. And so your objective is to build a trusting relationship with them. That's the very first thing that you want to do. So when you meet for coffee, sit down, introduce yourself, have them introduce themselves to you. Talk a little bit about, yourself personally. Maybe the fact that you, especially if you're new, where did you come from? Where did you grow up? Those kinds of things. Nothing too detailed personally, but let them get to know you a little bit as well. And they'll probably tell you the same thing. Then you're going to talk about your organization at a very high level so that they can hear from you the things that are happening at the organization in the way of an update, and potentially talking about things that are coming up. And you might even weave in where there may be needs, right? You're not making an ask on this visit. You are not going to ask for a gift on this visit. Okay? Your objective is to build that relationship. Talk about the organization at a high level. And then listen. Pay attention to the questions that they're asking and the things that they're saying in response to you talking about the organization. Because what they're doing for you is creating a roadmap that will lead to that significant ask that you're eventually going to make. So you're going to pay attention to the things that are of interest to them. What's important to them? What are they asking you about? Are they asking about how old the organization is? Are they asking about particular programs that you run? Are they asking you about the size of your organization in terms of the number of the people that you serve, the number of staff? Are they wanting to know in detail about programs that you have and how you're delivering the services? Those are the things that you're going to pay attention to, because that's what's going to create the roadmap that will lead to an ask. Now, many of you may be saying, well, I really ultimately just want money to support our annual operations, which is great. That's exactly what I'm talking about, is you asking for a gift that is going to support your bottom line. But there's nothing stopping you from telling the story about how you deliver the services that you provide to the people that you serve, because ultimately the dollars will go to support that. And there may be some things about what you do that are of particular interest to them, but the money that they give will help that and other things that you're doing. Okay. So that's your objective, is to listen and listen for the cues that will create that roadmap that will lead to an ask. So in that first visit, that is really all you're trying to accomplish. Getting to know them a little bit, finding out what's interesting to them. And maybe you've met for coffee at a coffee shop, and now the next time you meet may be at your organization, so that they can come for a tour and see your mission in action. So if they're interested in doing that, my biggest tip to you here is to schedule that next visit during the first visit. So as you're wrapping up and ending your coffee, and you say, hey, would love to have you come out to our site for a visit and a tour. Would you be open to that? Sure. When can we do that? And then you open up your respective calendars and you decide on a date and time, right? And where you're going to meet. And you get that on your calendar. You can send them a calendar request so it's on theirs. They'll probably add it to their calendar themselves. But now you have a firm date locked in as you're leaving the first visit. You should do this every single time you are meeting with the donor. Secure the next visit while you're sitting there with your calendars in your hand. It will keep your process and the momentum moving along very smoothly. So that is sort of the process you want to go through to get through that first visit. As to the anxiety that you may be experiencing, again, remember, this is another human being. They are interested in meeting with you because they're interested in hearing about your organization, your leadership, the service you provide to the people that you serve. They're very interested in hearing all of that. And so don't feel as though you need to be perfect. Don't feel as though you need to put together a slide deck to share with them. Just connect with them first. You can use that slide deck down the road as you're building that relationship with them. But let's keep the barriers out of this. The iPads, the laptops. If you're going to take notes, use a paper and pen, or a notebook and pen. Try not to take notes on a device, especially a laptop, iPad, or phone, right? I just want you to think about what that will feel like from the other side, right? When we have our phones out, even though we may be taking notes and we may be even excusing ourselves to write that note, it's so much better when you have a pad or a notebook and a pen or pencil in front of you. It will be much better received by that individual. Doesn't matter that they're wealthy. That's just a great way to respect the conversation that you're in. My point here is there's nothing for you to be anxious about. The only thing that is going to stop you from raising money from wealthy individuals is a lack of activity. Because relationship fundraising only happens and happens successfully if you engage in activity that leads to building relationships, making the case, making the ask, and closing the deal. Because that's what your objective is. So I hope this is helpful to you. If you're interested in chatting with me, feel free to schedule a complimentary coaching session with me. You can find that link below this video, or you can go to my website, thefundcoach.com. And in the upper right-hand corner, there's a green button there. You can click that link and it will take you to a page where you can schedule that complimentary coaching session. If you would like to get these videos in your inbox and you're not getting them now, also below this video is a link to subscribe to the Huddle Up series. So feel free to do that. I hope this has been helpful to you. And as always, fundraising is not about the dollars. It's about what the dollars do for the people that you serve. See you next time. Thanks.